person. Welcome to Curated Temperance Messages. These messages are specially curated to help you break out of perceived limitations, so I hope this message suits you well. I'm not gonna lie to you. I saw this Crystal of Clarity card at the bottom of the deck, and I just gotta see what's going on. It says, illuminate your path with openness and insight, readying yourself for a newfound understanding of content. So I wanted to let the energies subside here. We've had the peak season resets, okay? We've had the first super full moon initiating this reset energy, okay? I am not a calendar girly, okay? I am highly spiritual, so I do not celebrate holidays that are calendarized, okay? My body, my mind, my lifestyle, who I am just does not sync with those things. So the way that I do things is in accordance to what spirit aligns for me. And that's how I've always been. So this is interesting here. I don't know what to make of this. So let's see what's going on here and get down with the show. So we've got Crystal of Clarity, okay? It's like, because earlier I was also channeling enlightening or lightening, okay? Lightening is a term that is used in pregnancy. This is kind of energetic shifting energy. Enlightening is the term used when clarity is gained, okay? So that could be very significant here. This represents something coming to the light or something of the light, okay? So let's see here. What's going on, Spirit? What types of messages do you have up here? In this energy, you could finally trust yourself. That's what that enlightening energy is, I reckon. You can finally trust yourself. Maybe you trust yourself through some very hard, confusing times even. And those are the decisions that were made in wise gestures. So there's something that could be allowing renewal, okay? Don't let nobody rain on your parade. Don't let nobody shut you down or kind of redirect the motive or what you're working on here, okay? This could have been a thing here too, because you wouldn't allow for people to influence your decision making or your course. You could have stumbled into some confusion here, because this looks like, yeah, this looks like you know what the fuck you're doing. That's what it's giving. It looks like you know what the fuck you're doing. And, you know, people just need to get out your way, honey. For real, for real. Let me move this. You can have a lot of people watching you right now, watching you because they see you in this light of things that, for one, they would have never guessed. And the reason why they would have never guessed it is because they were looking at you from their own limitation. And the reason why they were looking at you from their own limitation is literally because they do not know how to be for themselves here, okay? There is something here that has been taking a very long while here, and I feel like you got the hang of it, okay? It's like, it's not like you didn't know what to do. It was this thing of keeping the best parts of you away from people, places, things, and environments that did not deserve that energy, okay? And this is so crazy because it's given like preservation even. There is some form of communication, like I said, clarity, but there's a different form of communication that is allowing for things to unfold here. This could be you or for someone else in this energy here, but someone wants to be open-minded. It's either they were already acting that way or they thought they had a choice to be a certain way about how something really goes. Okay, I don't know if this was like training at work or even like skill enhancement, okay? But this couple days ago, I was channeling something about cutting corners and like skipping ahead of the line and stuff like that. Like, okay, so skipping ahead of the line is this thing where people see you, they underestimate you because they start like comparing or competing, and then they start like spiraling out, trying to like rush into stuff that they think you don't understand. So there's a lot about undermining your comprehension and stuff. And this is crazy because like you do not have to prove yourself to anyone to be worthy of anything. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to prove yourself to be worthy of anything. You don't have to perform or do any of that. And that is why people could be watching you, because things come to you naturally in a sense where it is calibrated for you. I don't know what this thing is about people wanting you to feel like you are out of place with yourself, or they want you to feel like they know what's best for you more than you know what's best for you, okay? But something is so weird here where it's like something is being pushed out of this illusion here, okay? The veil is off for a lot of things, all right? And that's where things are unfolding here. Learning lessons here. You could have finally overcame harsh lessons, harsh truths even. This is given like an unpacking dynamic. Most people don't like to unpack things because for one, it puts you in an uncomfortable position. And for two, it's a form of self-reflection here. And if you're not willing to do something like that, you're not going to elevate. And it was never this thing about trying to force people to see things from your perspective or to go along with what you're doing. It was to open people up to their own life and their own influences and their own patterns and stuff like that. I guess the way this reading is coming off is like, it's kind of giving like you were right the whole time. If people have tried to villainize you for seeing the truth, if people have tried to gaslight you for noticing misalignment, or for even trying to correct yourself so that you wouldn't be in the crossfire for stuff, okay? Like, yeah, honey. yeah. And here too, something was being done by choice, okay? Something was being done by choice. It was being done by choice of trying to reveal something that had already boiled over, okay? For some of you, this was a thing where there was like some type of tactical, okay? I don't know why I cannot talk sometimes, but oh my gosh. there was some type of tactical play going on. I don't know why I wanted to say tactical foreplay. Like, what the hell? Tactical foreplay, honey. So yeah, preseason stuff, like tactical foreplay thing. You know, take it wherever it goes. It could be sexual, it could be spiritual, it could be literally just a way of like triangulation or siphoning or something. But this tactical play here where you know, these energies, environments, or communities wanted to even make you feel like they were a piece of the whole, so that you would keep looping around, or even so that you would keep on feeding certain things that would only manifest total destruction at the end. And so it would literally seem like you've came up empty-handed. Like, coming up empty-handed is like the biggest embarrassment, right? Because as much as people would love to gaslight and undermine you, it's literally coming from them being insecure about the fact that they don't know themselves. If somebody tried to put you in a position of, you know, being the leader of them, except for they wanted to still create this route of difficulty where it would be seeming like you would be resisting conformity or resisting what's the other word, resisting correction. Okay, honey. Like, I don't know, this is killing me. Resisting correction here. Okay, somebody may have wanted to take a position over you just for the fun of thinking that they would have access to you, or for thinking that they would actually be able to have some form of connectivity with you. But it was in the funniest gesture ever. It was like in this gesture of like, you know, they will always top you. They will always this, always that. Like, they wanted to give off this dynamic of being able to put themselves in your way, so that you would have no other choice but to redirect into something that they wanted to be able to control, narrate, or even like kind of So the reason why they were doing these weird tactics and watching to see how you will respond was because these people were doing these things to themselves. And that's what this weird resistance energy is. Like I said, did I say something about a spiral or something? Like, people are spiraling into realizing that they didn't do anything to you. They've done it all to themselves here, okay? There could be something going on about soul ignition or heart infusing, okay? If you ever tried to change course or redirect what was going on with something because you thought it wasn't working, okay, there was this illusion up, or like the slowness of something, of like you absorbing someone else's insecurities. You could see the difference between that now, okay? This is like really crazy because this literally feels like a setup, like a setup, a trap, or a frame or something like that, that just did not work. Somebody fell into their own trap. Like, in totality, they fell into their own trap here. This is like someone hate themselves, okay? Like I said, this could be in a work environment or something, but someone hates themselves. They hate themselves. They hate themselves so much that when they see you or when they notice something about you, for one, they can't keep their eyes off of it. And for two, they can't help but to try to study you, because they're trying to either catch you slipping, or they're trying to be able to develop their own skill set on how to do something, because they either see that something comes natural for you, and they notice that you're not loud about your progress or your experiences or your accomplishments or anything of that nature, okay? And it wasn't about being humble. It wasn't about being humble. It wasn't about holding yourself back. It literally was about you paying attention and focusing on your own shit, so that you can have the best possible outcome for something. Something is finally working in your favor here, okay? Word to the wise, don't let anyone in, okay? There's something so significant. Like, if you've cut these people off, or if you've moved environments, or even if you're thinking about doing it, you are completely right. But also too, at the same time, you would be wanting to move or expand simply because that is how you thrive best, okay? You could have felt very ostracized at a point, or they wanted you to feel ostracized. They wanted you to feel ostracized because they're really intimidated by you. Confirmation. They're intimidated by you. They're upset you have all these opportunities. They don't know how you got all these opportunities. They don't even like understand, which is crazy because they're not supposed to be understanding, but whatever. We're not that far into this video, and I already feel like a lot has been going on, okay? So like I said, something is finally working in your favor here. We got the 8 of coins here, okay? Something is finally working in your favor. It's been a slow ride, okay? But slow and steady wins the race. This is like the tortoise and the hare moment, okay? Where you are at your most magnetized state when you are aligned with the quietness of your own productivity, all right? If this is like career advancement even, or even like self-confidence boosting here, all right? This is a thing where times have changed and the tables have turned here, okay? While other people were questioning you, you were really questioning them, their motives, you know, what it is that their purpose is for real. And you could have been questioning them because you were trying to see where you fit in at. And if you know you don't fit somewhere, or you know that it's time for you to put yourself in a better place mentally, spiritually, emotionally, environmentally, financially, if you know it's time to shift so that you can expand and upgrade, and people are constantly trying to suppress you, it's like, yeah, you're going to begin to question their worth to your life here. So if somebody was trying to avoid being cut off by constantly like zigzagging into different outcomes, or you know, kind of trying to pull at your interests and stuff so that you don't put them in the hot seat or whatever goes on there, that's not working anymore. It's not working anymore. And this is like someone was trying to buy time so that they don't have to be accountable, so that they don't have to be honest, so that they don't have to unpack stuff, or so that they could keep using you as a scapegoat in some type of delusion or fantasy land. This is coming up again. People always think you're like this in a fantasy land, and it's them, and it's the scapegoating and the gaslighting part of people trying to reckon with themselves that you are not who you claim to be, so that you will never notice who they actually are. Oh my goodness. Like, oh my God, this is terrible. From the eight of coins to the 9 of coins, okay? There is definitely something moving up a grade scale, okay? So while the circus act was going on, you've really been honing in on what truly matters to you. And that's the best part, to be able to tune out the chaos and to focus inward. A lot of people are at war with themselves here. And they tried to bring you the smoke, honey, and Spirit was like, hold on now. That ain't what this is, honey. I'm gonna need you to turn back around and go right back to where you came from, okay? Because, yeah, see? You thrive best when you do what you love. You thrive best when you are able to spontaneously thrive in a sense of individuality. I don't know why people just want to be skinwalkers so bad, or because even in this energy, it's like people could have been preying on thinking that you are naive or green as grass here about stuff because you take your time when it comes to doing things. If you take your time when it comes to reacting, planning, putting action towards stuff, you know, slowing down is a sign of maturity, okay? Cutting corners and skipping the line is a sign of immaturity and imbalance even. You know what I'm saying? So there's people that are seeing you and being like, oh, like, no wonder why so-and-so did this like this, or no wonder why blah, blah, this and that. No, it's not a no wonder why. It's literally, if you would be, you know, keeping your eyes on your own work and paying attention to your own shit the way that you're supposed to, getting your life together, being in alignment, improving, self-enhancing, okay? And just being a better person for yourself, however that manifests in your life, of course, you're going to be thriving and kind of being able to fluidly exist, okay? Fluidly exist. This means when people approach you, or when opportunities open up, or when things are like, you know, bringing you more light, okay? It's because you've done the inner work to expand what you are passionate about. There's too much of this limitation of people thinking they can ruin opportunities for you or mess up what's going on here. And if anyone ever did try to change how they felt about you or how they dealt with you based on some form of opinion that was formulated off of someone else's demise here, they've missed out on an opportunity, okay? They've missed out on an opportunity, because these are people that ruin friendships, connections, structures, and everything just so they can like have this false sense of superiority here. They destroy everything in their lives here, and you're not that way, okay? You're not that way. These people are left internalizing what they've done because it didn't get them nowhere. It didn't get them nowhere at all. They're left internalizing what they've done because if they're watching your progress or like seeing what's going on with you and stuff, like, you fooled a lot of people, but that's not what it was about. It wasn't about fooling nobody. It was literally about minding your motherfucking business. Goodness. Something could be coming back around here, okay? Something could be coming back around. It could be like a gap in something. It could be like something going on, like something changing within a matter of 10 minutes or like 10 days or something of that nature, okay? But it's like, whatever this is, because it feels like even like a meeting or like a form of emotional communication, someone expressing how they feel, someone expressing what they're working on, someone expressing, you know, what it is of something just by being themselves. You're going to receive a lot of insight, clarity, and opportunity on that here. And I feel like, you know, if this is about love or collaboration or work here, I feel like it was this sense of like that push and pull dynamic of, for one, being afraid to trust yourself, and for two, being afraid of the power that you have to utilize. And when I say power, I don't mean manipulation, because that's not what this is on the board. Like, when I say power, I literally mean self-sufficiency, confidence, okay? That ability to continue to do what you are supposed to be doing, no matter what chaos is going on, okay? And that's another thing why people are so bothered, because they wanted to try to poke a hole in your peace here. And all they've done is have to correct themselves, okay? For some of you, people are actually ritualistically putting themselves through these challenges and obstacles where they've tried to suppress you in some form of mental limitation or energetic limitation, because they thought it would make their light shine brighter here. So it's like they could be trying to like ritualize themselves in this act of taking back what they projected, or trying to like be nice. Like, this is like that fake ass mean girl group energy where, like, you know, after people try to like cut you out, or, you know, like do things to undermine you or steal things from you, then they want to like flip the switch and start trying to be nice to you, start trying to invite you out, start trying to sit next to you, start trying to consider you for stuff, because what they realized was they made a fool of themselves for acting out in a way against you and didn't have a reason to, okay? So for some of you, watch very closely here, because some of these offers and opportunities could be things of people literally just correcting themselves and putting themselves in their own lane, because they see that they've sidestepped into the wrong shit for trying to fuck with you, honey. Okay? For some of you, you could have been dealing with a dynamic of being emotionally manipulated or having some type of emotional trauma projected at you, okay? To literally make you feel like the littlest piece of nothing, okay? This is like coming from like childhood. It could be like childhood trauma or generational trauma or something like that, or emotional empathy, okay? I know I talked about that a little while back in one of these readings, emotional empathy, or like a empathy cord to cut, okay? People trying to feed through an empathy cord from you so that you would stagnate and lose focus on what you're doing here. This is that thing of pulling yourself out of other people's lives, because you can't go along with what other people are doing or what other people think they require, because in a sense that completely stagnates you. That stagnates you so bad to a point where you would be tricked into being in this internalizing energy of trying to rethink about what you did, or what went wrong, or why something didn't happen a certain way, okay? And that's not for you. So in a sense here too, there's like this energy of like something is being taken back here. Whatever it was seeming to be isn't. It never was. It never will be. All of this, I hate when these readings get like this. All of this wasn't even supposed to be a thing here. People were just getting too caught up in trying to walk on the back of your heels, okay? Because it's like, for them, they were afraid of what you know. Whatever you're not revealing, they feel like they have to go and investigate behind your back just so that they can find a way to stop you or to pivot something against you, so that you would not be able to expand or to live in your truth. People are afraid of the truth that you have without their influence. This is like damage control, okay? Damage control is like people want you to suppress your truth and how you express yourself, just so they can have their own light about formulating all this delusion and you know, one-sided nostalgia or whatever, like this picture perfect stuff of only focusing on the outside of things and not really internally doing the footwork, okay, unpacking things, okay. So all these people are afraid of your truth without their influence here, so they all tried to bomb rush you so that you would be quiet, or so that you will redirect what your focus is. But that's not it either. Okay, that's not it either. It doesn't matter what someone's truth is. It doesn't matter what story someone is going to tell. If you have to find a way to keep something a certain way, or to try to think that you can redirect how someone views things, does things, or even decides on things or processes things, just so that you can continue to scapegoat them for your own false sense of superiority, you are fucked up. Okay, you are fucked up. Yeah, that's done for. That is so done for. Trying to make it look like you are the burden carrier, you are the secret keeper, you are the one that's going to internalize all this stuff, and it's going to create blockages in the way that you view yourself. It's going to create blockages in the way that you operate in life, the way you process your experiences, the way that you handle your connections and work environments and day-to-day living, routines, cycles, habits, patterns, and all that. Like, yeah. And someone was preying on the fact that you would just naively go along with everything and whatever was going on, while sliding you under your feet, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, trying to get you to trade your wisdom for their manipulative nonsense, okay? And for some of you here, if this was stemming from like family or work environments, they simply just hate the fact that you're confident, or there's like this secret animosity or this jealousy, or this it's like it's a festering growth inside of them to watch you elevate, or to see where you're at or how far you come without their validation. The Hierophant is up here, okay? You don't have to tell people if you are questioning your values, beliefs, subconscious pattern. You don't have to tell people that. You don't have to tell people what you're doing to elevate mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, structurally. You don't have to let people keep tabs on you about those things. These people, these environments are just too concerned with your truth, because either you've been silent, or they are afraid of what you could do, because they think that you have the same type of vengeance that they have. They think that you're irrational. They think that you aren't mature enough to handle your feelings or emotions. And the truth is, it's them. Okay? It's them. It's them. Okay? You do not have to let anyone in on anything. You do not have to keep opening yourself up and feeding pieces of your soul to people just to get them to sit down and be happy. And you know, you are not the one to regulate people. You're not the self-regulatory system for other people. Your nervous system can't regulate someone else's nervous system that's just like codependent and in self-denial or self-neglectful. Your mindset, your choices, your habits, your decisions cannot reroute someone else's natural ability to brainstorm and problem solve, you know? So like, wanting to be in your skin, wanting to poke a hole in your peace and all that, just because they were trying to, you know, rummage around and see what's going on with you, what's taking place, you know, because they either feel guilty or they're scared or they like that. No. So expanding outside of the box, questioning beliefs, and thriving with your own truth is what you are supposed to be doing. Okay, we're right back up there. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Why so many people feel like they need to stop you before things get dangerous? It's because they feel like you're going to do something back to them because they know for a fact they were not reciprocating or being truthful in the ways that you have invested in them. They knew that they were takers. They knew they were manipulators. But the problem was you were not showing any signs of letting them know that you also knew who they were. You know who you are and you know who they are. So that's the issue there too. This energy is done for. It is what it is. The basic principalities of working on self and taking your time to evolve and to understand your will and to understand your capability to function and to thrive and to prosper and to expand, and that's a natural God-given right. So what are people what are people on? Literally, what are people on? This goes beyond like so many things that people have tried to factor into your truth. Why so many people want to have a page in your book? Why so many people want to be able to write your feelings for you? Why so many people want to be able to redirect your decisions so bad? Because they thought it was going to save their ass from all the shit that they've been doing against you. Okay? The most friendliest, loving faces can be the most devious. Okay? The most, aligned looking opportunities can be the biggest setups. Okay? And by far, you have dodged all these traps. Okay? You've dodged these traps so much to a point where even if this happened or was to be a thing where the suppression made you feel like you had no other choice but to put up with certain things or but to play along with certain things, and it was this form of people wanting to make you feel or think like, oh, like, yeah, aha, that's what you get, like, or that's just what that is for you. They are sadly motherfucking mistaken. Okay? People are weird. People are fucking weird. People are weird as hell. So the illusions are done, the veil is off, and people are having to take their shit and get right with themselves because you cannot do it. You were never entitled to do that. People still have to do it for themselves. Okay? You cannot break off pieces of you and give it to someone else and tell them, here, fix yourself. I have a piece of me that's going to help you fix the pieces of you. You cannot do that. And whatever this was of people trying to latch on and keep this empathy going on here so that you would be exhausted, so that you would continue to just be, feeling trapped or bound by these limitations of feeling like you've done the wrong thing, or you're being rebellious because you're not going along or playing along with the part or whatever. That's not rebellion to live in your own truth. It's called authenticity. It's called living your truth. You know what I'm saying? Tell the truth and shame the fucking devil. For real. We finna clean these up. We finna clean this up. This is crazy. This is crazy, honey. Crazy, crazy. You do not have to let anyone in on anything. No matter how much people will try to monitor, okay? Monitoring spirits and all that. Monitoring spirits show up in so many different ways. Monitoring spirits show up in ways of people pretending like they're checking on you, or people pretending like they're interested in what you're interested in, but it's the bigger motive is to literally watch you. Okay, it's to watch you, and it's to be able to control your ability to expand or to thrive or to how whatever goes on there. But that's not a thing. Okay, all that is being corrected. That's not a thing, baby. All right, let's see. Yeah, it came right back up here. it came right back up here, okay? It's your ability to not kneel, your ability to say no, your ability to redirect yourself without validation, your ability to move on to better, your ability to take all the disappointments and emotional exhaustion or emotional unfulfillment and still continue to push forward with your own truth, because the most powerful thing you can do is solely operate from self-realization. Okay? Man, this message is like so much, like I'm like starting to sweat, okay? It's like just, yeah, honey, yeah. Behind the veil is off. The veil has been ripped off. Everybody is completely butt-ass naked, okay? And it's not because you did anything against anyone. You are an individual, okay? You are an individual. You don't belong to nobody. You are not a possession, okay? You are not someone that people can just say, oh, I made you, I did this, I did that. You wouldn't be that way if it wasn't for me. No, you have evolved into this being that operates from self-realization, and it doesn't have anything to do with attachments or trauma or nothing. And that's one thing people cannot understand or stand about you, because you're not walking around with this fake badge of honor, you know, overly sourcing and crediting things that you know damn well have not contributed anything but triggering, okay? You know how to handle your triggers, you unpack that shit and you evolve. Other people don't know what the hell to do. So they come up with these figments of, oh, like, you know, you're the reason for this. Let me come back and get into your energy and stuff so that I can figure myself out. No, that's transactional fraud. We don't do that. Transactional fraud is people telling themselves that they have to do something about you, with you, or in cahoots to your energy, because they are still stuck on the fact that they could not understand what the dynamics of something was. If they didn't value you in a connection, a friendship, a work environment, a living situation, or whatever it was, or however it goes, if they did not value you during those points in time, yeah, spirit is going to remove you, and there ain't no sunshine when you're gone.